had an encounter that proved more dangerous than she originally thought. How's that? She would like to share her story to raise awareness of this little-known problem. The title of her speech is The Killer Next Door. Please help me welcome Carmen.
I've lived in the same neighborhood for over 25 years, and I've always felt safe there. Little did I know there was a killer stalking me on the street. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, this silent killer was a friend of mine. He came over often. We were pretty comfortable with each other. And he was so gorgeous. I really liked it when he came over. He was ethnically part Persian and part Siamese. Beautiful animal. Big, huge white cat with points. And he was very affectionate with me. However, he did not like my two male cats. And the three of them frequently fought. Actually, they didn't fight. They just screamed and postured with one another. They didn't know why. They were all neutered. They just didn't have a clue. But it's something they thought they should do. And eventually, they'd break up. But one morning, I was putting on my swimsuit in the bedroom, getting ready to work out at the pool, and I heard the kids go, "Wow, wow," you know. Normally, I'd ignore it, but I had a little kitten out there, and I was worried about him. So I went out. They immediately, Fluffy turned tail, started leaving. I wasn't doing anything. And then Roscoe, my cat, comes rushing out and kind of knocks me off balance. And I ended up stepping down hard on Fluffy's tail. Now, I don't need to tell you, but cats are not Christians. They do not go for that turn the other cheek thing. They have no morals. All they have are instincts. And Fluffy, forgetting our fragile relationship, whipped around and buried 4 fangs in my leg. Did I mention I was wearing a bathing suit? There was nothing between me and Fluffy. Now, I got an artificial knee this year, and the surgeon told me, "Carmen, whatever you do, don't get infected in your leg. You could lose your leg." All right. So normally I'm not too fussy about these things, but I slapped on a Band-Aid, put on some clothes, went to the emergency room, and they were really excited about my leg. And they took pictures, and they did an x-ray, and they hooked me up to an IV with antibiotics. And they were very concerned. They did not want me to leave. And I said, "I've got plans. I've got things to do. Just clean it up, put on a Band-Aid." Long story short, 5 days in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
5 days, and they poked me full of things, and they had that IV. And it's still kind of tricky. It's still got a bandage. What I found out is cat bites are far more dangerous than dog bites. Let me read you something that I got online from the Mayo Clinic. While people think that cat bites are less serious than dog bites, the opposite is true. The potential for severe infection is much higher for cat bites, mainly due to the normal bacteria that are in a cat's mouth. They can not only cause a local infection, but are more likely to cause a systemic illness. They can cause infection of the bone, meningitis, infection of the heart valve, osteoarthritis, septic arthritis, and septic shock. They can also transmit rabies, tetanus, and tularemia. People may develop infections that require hospitalization, IV antibiotics, and possibly even surgery. If you neglect a cat bite, and my nurses had all kinds of stories to tell me about cat bites. It was scary. You get a cat bite on your hand, you let it go, you could lose a finger. You could lose a hand. One nurse told me about a man I was at Memorial, here in Yakima, a person that taught at YVC. This is no internet story. He got bit on the hand, he ignored it, it got into his lymph nodes. He ended up with a form of what they call elephantitis, huge swollen limbs. Horrible. incurable. He has to live with that the rest of his life. The reason I'm telling you this is I just want people to know. Cat bites are extremely dangerous. And if you like cats like I do, you have a silent killer in your house, on your sofa, in your bed. As for Fluffy and I, just another relationship gone bad, I guess. I'm hoping he doesn't have too much of a memory. I want to emphasize to you how important it is to immediately get attention, medical attention, to any cat bite you get, even if it doesn't seem severe. They puncture. There's actually holes in my leg. My doctor said, oh, I guess we won't have to do a graft, a skin graft. But it was shocking to me to find out what danger I was in, because I am normally very careless about these things. I let things go and just put a Band-Aid on it. So I want everyone to know that you should immediately seek medical attention and do what they tell you. I turned them down the first night. I can't stay here. I have things to do. I have a life to live. I came back the next day and it was a different story, and I listened this time. So please, please, if you get bit by a cat, get immediate medical attention and notify the animal people, because it's legally required that you file a police report. So take it as a word of caution. Don't be like me. Mr. Toastmaster.